I don't know, it's the pussy glue.
Hello, wonderful people of the internet. My name is Jules. It's been a hot fucking minute since I've made a video. So it's been about like 6 months since I made my last video. We're in 2020, and a lot of shit has happened. If you basically don't live underneath a rock, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. But we're not here to talk about this in this video. No. We're here to talk about Katy Perry and Lady Gaga in this video. A lot of shit has unfolded in the past couple of days, I think it's been, because Perez Hilton basically made a few tweets talking about a certain someone being jealous and hating a certain someone. So if you know me, I love both Katy and Gaga. I've loved Gaga since I was 9 or 8, since her debut, and I've loved Katy since I was 12. So I'm pretty much like a Katy cat and a little monster for the most part, or like all the parts. And I basically wanted to make this video talking about the relationship, where I think Katy and Gaga stand, and basically how I stand on the situation at hand, and just regarding like a lot of things that have happened between the two of them, basically from the start of their career to the present tense that we're in right now. So I'm going to dive into that. So a lot of people basically still have questions of whether Katy and Gaga are friends, if they're close, if they like each other, if they have mutual respect for each other, if they're best friends, or if they just hate each other. And I'm here to answer a few questions on what I think is the answer to all of this as a fan of both of them. And I'm going to break it all, everything on my phone. So let's start off with basically when Katy and Gaga first debuted, which they both debuted in 2008. Gaga released Just Dance in April of 2008, and Katy Perry released I Kissed a Girl in April of 2008. And I'm not putting You're So Gay as Katy's debut single, even though she released it in 2007, because that is not where her career started, where she basically jumped foot and where her career took off. Because her first hit was I Kissed a Girl. So before Katy Cats get confused about that, I just want to say that. So off the bat, Katy Perry and Lady Gaga both debuted the exact same time. Their careers started exactly in the same month of the same year. So of course, these two are definitely going to be compared, and they're definitely going to be put as each other's competitions more than the rest of the people in the music industry, because they debuted at the same time. So a little while after, in August of 2008, Lady Gaga said on Much Music in Toronto, when asked how does she feel about the songs I Kissed a Girl, she talked about, I don't know if she had kissed a girl, and I'm going to insert the clip here.
What do you think about songs nowadays like Katy Perry's I Kissed a Girl? Do you like that song?
I don't think she's kissed a girl.
I don't think she has either. I agree. So if you have, you might as well sing about it.
Yeah. You know what? I don't really think anything about it, to be perfectly honest. I'm a big fan of all kinds of music and pop records, but I don't really write my records.
So some might say that she was definitely dissing Katy at this, but we have to remember that Gaga had not met Katy at this point. So Katy and Gaga had not met at this point, and they're relatively still new in the industry. So I do believe that people were basically saying to both Katy and Gaga that, yeah, they were each other's competition, and I do believe that Gaga might have been a little like, okay, do I be friendly? Do I shade her? Like, what do I do? But she also says, I don't pay no mind to it. So I think she definitely was like, I'm not going to be rude to this woman because I haven't met the woman yet. So I shouldn't just randomly assume that she's out for blood, or that she's basically here to be rude or play unfairly or treat me like not one of her equals. So she definitely probably wasn't being rude in this. I just think that it was what happened, and she just was saying it because she didn't know anything about Katy Perry. She didn't know anything about the woman. Then they actually met for the first time in Paris, France, in the train station. And I'm gonna roll that clip right there. So we can take from this clip that they definitely were pretty nice. Their interactions were pretty nice. I really like this video. It's cute. Being a fan of both of them. It's really cute seeing them interact with each other for the first time and having that like on camera of them meeting for the first time, because you don't really get that a lot when you sometimes like have a fave and you like two people and you have that interaction of their first time meeting. So it's kind of cool that you like have that. But I think that generally they were kind of like shocked. It wasn't like a big moment. It was kind of like, okay, we're both in the same train station, so it's kind of like, okay, hi, like, whatever, you know. They didn't really pay no mind to it. They were kind of like, okay, we're just like seeing each other, we know of each other, whatever. But I don't really think that Gaga or Katy really hated each other or was jealous of each other because, as I said, their careers were still starting off. So we get to Perez Hilton, who basically was friends with a lot of famous people back in the day, and one of which was Lady Gaga, who knew her very well. And he basically had this house party. I don't know if he had others, but this one was very public. It was in October of 2008, and it's shown here that they hung out with a bunch of people, and they look like they're just having fun, like they're in their 20s, having a good time, having fun, normal party shit. I don't really think that Gaga or Katy had anything against each other at this time. I think that they were just out here having a good time, living the life, living their dream, you know, being known and being famous. I mean, by these pictures, they look like they're having a good time, so I really don't think that they hated each other. I really don't believe it. Then we get to a picture that not a lot of people actually have seen, but it was basically from Jingle Ball 2008 on December 13th. And this was like after the house party thing. I don't know if there's anything that happened in November, but basically that's what happened. And it looks like they look like they're in like a confrontation, but I just think that it's the way that the picture was taken, because I don't think that the woman in the picture that's pointing to them would be doing that if they were having like an argument. But honestly, that woman pointing is like me. Like, that's me all the time. It's like, those are my faves. Yep. They on my ass. Yep. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was in 2009. So nothing else happened. It's the new year. Whatever. So this video was in Marseille, France. They call it the kissing video. It was in Gaga Vision. March 3rd, 2009. So nothing in January, nothing in February, and then in March. They're in Marseille, France, and they look really like close. They don't look like they have anything against each other. They look like they're pretty good friends to me in this video, and I really don't think that they have anything against each other. Yes, the medias were pitting them against each other because they technically were each other's competition, but I don't really see that they were each other's competition in their own minds or like enemies per se. So yeah, I mean, I love this video, and any person that I know that is a fan of both of them tend to really think that this video is cute. I mean, I just love the fact that they like kiss each other's cheeks and that like wins over my game.
Me and Katy Perry.
Oh, hi! We're on a video!
So we are in Marseille.
We're in Marseille in France. It's in the south of France. Beautiful.
Yes, and I just performed, and Katy's going to
I'm about to go on the stage right now and sing.
Oh my god,
It's insane.
And if you say ça va Marseille, just practice it. Yeah, they'll be like, ah! Ça va.
Ça va Marseille. Right. But isn't it how are you? Or is it right. French lessons from Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, so this is me and Katy. Thank you. And
I'm a big
I'm gonna give her
fan.
a kiss because I want to say that I kissed her.
Oh,
Oh
genius.
my god. Okay, what?
Yes.
Oh, merci. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Then The Fame Monster was released in 2009, so really like nothing happened between the two of them. Like there wasn't really any interactions between them from what I could see. They were still like heavily pitted against each other. Fans were still at each other's throats, but not as heavily as I think when they released their second albums, or Gaga's third, because Born This Way was their third album, Katy's was her second, Teenage Dream. In 2010, Katy Perry released Teenage Dream, and in 2011, Lady Gaga released Born This Way, and they were pit against each other, I think, a bit more than they had in the past, because both of these albums were definitely, like, pop defining. They definitely redefined pop music that we know today. It was definitely two revolutionary albums. They're definitely really iconic. Their music videos were definitely over the top. Both eras definitely were very heavily successful for both of them. And I mean, both of their music videos for those eras were pretty much like movie set typed music videos. So yeah, also the tours for both of them were like over the top, and their performances were definitely over the top. I think the only interactions that they basically had, I think, were at award shows, where one instance was when Gaga went as her alter ego Joe at the VMAs when Katy Perry wore pink hair and a fucking square on her head. That's all I can really fucking say about her outfit. I'm not saying that it's bad, I just really don't know how else I could fucking explain her outfit. And then the next one, which a lot of people really don't remember, and I posted it on my Twitter when I watched the Katy Perry movie, and it's Lady Gaga and Katy Perry interacting in her movie, and Lady Gaga congratulating Katy Perry on her win, and this was at the EMA Awards, and you can really see that they don't really look like they hate each other. There doesn't seem like there's any, like, bad blood. Horrible to say that, but yeah. I don't really think that there was any bad blood between them. I really don't think that Lady Gaga had anything against Katy Perry. I mean, Katy Perry's never really hated Lady Gaga or had anything against Lady Gaga. She's always been, like, a really big fan, and you can actually hear in, like, the first time that they met, Katy says, like, I'm such a big fan, and in the times when they were in Marseille, France, in Gaga Vision, Katy literally says, like, I'm a big fan to her on there. So Katy has said multiple times that she's a huge fan of Lady Gaga, so I really don't think that Katy is the one that has ever had anything against Lady Gaga.
Congratulations! If I could see your face right now.
I'm really happy. You just can't tell.
It was like a Hershey kiss.
But I really don't think anything was like conspiring there. I do think that Perez Hilton was a big influence on Lady Gaga. I'm not saying that she can't think for herself, but I think because of how fake Perez Hilton was, where he basically said one thing to you and then said another thing behind your back, I think really influenced her and basically was like telling her, like, that's your competition, like, she's gonna bring the heat, so you need to bring it, like, bigger, you gotta, like, watch out for her. And I think, like, she realized that he was fake. So in 2011, their friendship kind of ended between Perez and Gaga. And I think she kind of still had in the back of her mind what he said, because it was true. They technically were each other's competitions, but I really think that she was, like, giving Katy the benefit of the doubt, because Katy never really stabbed her in the back. Katy never did anything wrong to her, so I don't really think she had anything against her. So back on with Perez, because he's a really big thing as to why I'm making this video. I'm going to insert the tweets that he posted, which is why a lot of people are talking about this. Of course, as I just said, that their friendship fell apart in 2011. Katy and Perez were never really close, like Gaga and him were. Perez, of course, as I said, he was known to being fake. I think that he kind of made Katy seem like the bad one. Like, not in a way that I'm blaming him or saying that he did these things. I'm just, like, saying that I think he did, because there was really no reason as to why Gaga would hate Katy or why she would be jealous, because they were both technically on top of the charts. They were both ruling basically the world at this point. So there wasn't really a need for it. I really, like, I understand, like, where he's coming from when he says that Gaga definitely might have hated Katy, but I really think that it didn't start until after he and Gaga fell out of being friends. And we gotta remember that Perez Hilton had a lot and still has a lot of connections. So he definitely can get people who are still gonna be fake to these celebrities and get insight on if Gaga like slips up and says something. Of course, during the Born This Way in Montreal, Gaga broke her hip. So Gaga was basically performing on like a broken hip on her Born This Way tour. And one night it basically just completely shattered and broke. I will not be putting any footage of that because I just really like I don't want to put that in here because it's not, I don't really think it's good and I really don't want to show that. Not that it's like gruesome, I just want to have respect for Lady Gaga. If you want to see it, it's on YouTube. Like, I'm not going to shit you. It is. It's just, I don't really like to show that. Like, take what I'm telling you. It's like, I'm not faking it. Basically, that really must have hit Gaga really hard. And Gaga was basically, like, continuously fast-paced. Like, she basically was on this, like, ride. Like, Katy explained in her movie, like, as soon as she, like, got that record deal and got that like hit song, it was like she was holding on to a rocket and holding on for dear life. And I don't really think Lady Gaga definitely was different in the sense. I really do agree that Lady Gaga and Katy Perry were both holding on to a rocket for dear life when they were like first lifting off into stardom. So both of them were basically on top of the world. They basically felt like they were untouchable, basically. You know, they had the success, they had the money, they had the glamour, the glitz, they had everything. And when I think Lady Gaga started to feel like her hip was breaking underneath her, that she was kind of like trying to put that aside and just kind of was like, oh no, maybe it's just like nothing. But I think when it broke, I think it really impacted her a lot because not only did she feel like she probably let down her fans and let down the other people, which I definitely did not feel like I was let down. It was disappointing to see her have to cancel the rest of her tour, but I do feel like she did let down her fans, even if we do say that, like, your health is more important to us. But I feel like she really let down herself. Like, she was up there, like, on top of the world, basically, feeling like she couldn't, like, be touched at all in the way that, like, I'm untouchable, like, I'm invincible. You can't break me. And then this was where she was broken. She needed to sit back, slow down, and a lot of people were hating Gaga even more and calling her over, and this was like jam-packing her. So I really think that the hatred and jealousy for Katy Perry started around this. My reasoning for that is also because during this time when Lady Gaga was still, you know, getting used to walking around, fixed her hip, and was getting back into showing her art to the world. She was releasing art pop, you know? In 2013, Katy Perry and Lady Gaga were releasing an album for the first time in the same year, which they hadn't done since their debut. And both their songs, Roar and Applause, leaked the same time. So that's something that is not really fun. And Lady Gaga also fired her manager around this time due to creative differences, and I think that also had a big impact because people did not react to art pop the same way that they had with the Fame Monster, and Born This Way. So I think that a lot of like Gaga's hatred and jealousy stemmed from the fact that people were reacting to Katy's music the same way that they had with her previous music. And the way that Gaga and Katy had always been on top of the world, untouchable, literally like the queens of pop, basically. That their music was like redefining, that everybody gushed over it and loved them. But they always compared the two. That in 2013, this I think was the peak of when their pit against each other was at its hardest, and when the fans were really at each other's throats. Gifts were made of art pop versus Prism, Roar versus Applause. Basically, like, it was literally Katy Perry versus Lady Gaga in every single sense of the word. So I think Lady Gaga kind of was more using her emotions in the sense to define why she kind of was jealous and didn't really like Katy. I mean, there was a lot of people who kept asking and kept saying, like, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, like, blah, 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 blah. As I said, keep pitting them against each other, keep comparing them. And, like, I think Lady Gaga was just fed up with the whole thing, and I feel like Katy Perry, in a way, kind of had Perez Hilton in the back of her mind, literally saying, like, that's your competition. Like, you need to watch out. She's not, you shouldn't trust her, blah, blah, blah. As I said, I don't know if Perez Hilton ever said this. I'm just going off of what I truly believe because he's a fake person and he definitely would probably start shit. Seeing as these two didn't have anything against each other, and the fact that this man literally randomly tweeted, like, the good old days before Katy Perry and Lady Gaga, you know, like, before Lady Gaga hated Katy Perry, and, like, oh, there was definitely jealousy there. Like, isn't it kind of weird how he just randomly tweeted that? I think it was more to start some drama, but I'm here to definitely calm it down. But I do believe that Lady Gaga was influenced by her emotions and had Perez Hilton in the back of her mind, where basically she was always hearing, like, Katy Perry versus Lady Gaga, and I think she was just kind of all like, Katy Perry, like, left me in the dust. Like, she is my competition, and she doesn't care about me. Like, what the fuck? Like, and we gotta remember, Lady Gaga was proud of art pop. Lady Gaga loved art pop, and she religiously loved art pop. And the fact that the general public wasn't reacting the same way, even some of her fans weren't even reacting the same way to art pop, I think she felt betrayed by a lot of people. Lady Gaga was dealing with a lot of stuff at this time, so I think her emotions took the best of her, and I mean, I'm gonna show a clip of Katy Perry reacting when somebody talks about the leaks between Roar and Applause, and I'm gonna show you a clip about the two, like, somebody bringing it up to Lady Gaga and talking about the leak with that and talking about Katy Perry.
But yeah, I don't know what fuck all I have to do with Katy Perry. I mean, it's like my music's so completely different. I couldn't be.
As you can see, she says, what fuck all do I have to do with Katy Perry? I mean, her music is so completely different. I mean, you can basically tell in her voice, even if you are a Katy cat and you are a little bit upset, like, how the fuck could Lady Gaga say that? You gotta remember that Gaga was really fucking fed up. You can tell in the tone of her voice that she was definitely fed up at this point. Like, why the fuck do you keep bringing up Katy Perry? Like, to me, yes, their music is kind of similar in the sense of that they tell a story in their music and that they both are very bold with everything that they do. But I can honestly say that their music is different in many ways. Like, when I listen to One of the Boys versus The Fame, there is a big difference between the two albums. Their music is very different. They are similar because of pop and the genres that they are a part of, but they're not the same thing, which I think was really, like, the tipping point, because I think Gaga was, like, just absolutely tired. Like, she was completely fucking tired of, like, everything, and, like, just, she didn't want to fucking deal with it. She just didn't want to fucking deal with it at all. And, like, I would be completely fucking finished, too, if I was in her fucking position. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I really think that 2013, 2014 was definitely, like, the years where Lady Gaga did have some jealousy and hatred towards Katy Perry, but I think she started to, like, realize that Katy Perry really had nothing to do with what was going on and what happened in the times that, you know, art pop didn't have the same success as Prism. Gaga just kind of was like, you know what, I'm not going to grow if I'm going to be the lesser person. I need to be the bigger person and understand. We also had these tweets from Gaga that basically were not the nicest things that she could say, but I mean, as I said, a lot of hate was stemmed around this time. I don't really think that she meant to be that hateful, but I mean, she basically was like, it looks like green hair and mechanical horses are a thing now, referring to the fact that Katy Perry had green hair and mechanical horses on her Prismatic World Tour. When Katy's Prism truck got into a car accident, she said, "Want to grab some shovels and fuck up some hackers. Excited to hear your roar sorry to hear about your truck. So I think Lady Gaga was still trying to like make peace with Katy Perry, but also I still feel like she was a little bit like, what the fuck, you know? Like, I'm not saying that she was being fake. I feel like Lady Gaga was trying to find peace in the situation, but I feel like it was kind of hard for her because she felt a little bit betrayed and a little bit angry. I think she let the emotions get the best of her, but she was still trying to be like the bigger person. And then Lady Gaga had Katy Perry tweet her saying, "What a wild weekend so far. Claws out, paws up. Looking forward to putting my hands up and making them touch too." So definitely Katy Perry and Lady Gaga interacted a little bit during this time, and as I said, Katy Perry really didn't have anything against the two of them. And then we have this tweet that basically was, "Applause didn't debut at number 1. Katy is better than her. Hashtag you won't use my mind. I write for the music, not the charts." So this was when Roar basically went number 1 and Applause did not. And this is when people were basically like, oh, Katy Perry versus Lady Gaga, Roar versus Applause, which one's going to be better? Who is going to debut at number 1? And I feel like Lady Gaga's way of like clapping back of like, I'm not writing for the charts, please stop this. Like, Lady Gaga was, I think, fed up with everything at this point. So, I mean, I really don't think Lady Gaga had any bad intentions. I just think that she was fed up and her emotions were getting the best of her when it came to a lot of the salty, jealous sort of hatred tweets and comments, I think. Because, like, you gotta remember the position that she was in at this point. Like, they were still pitted against each other, and during, like, 2013, they were really pitted against each other, so I understand where Lady Gaga was definitely coming from. So I want to give her the benefit of the doubt with this. Also in 2013, 2014-ish, on littlemonsters.com, somebody posted Katy Perry holding her Grammys, ha 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 ha. And she was like, "How would you feel if people make fun of you for not making an A in an exam? Hashtag spread love and kindness." So I think Lady Gaga was kind of like, still being like, I still need to play fair, I still need to be nice, but like I still don't think that she trusted her, and I still think that she had a little bit of jealousy there, but I don't think that she wanted the fans to keep spreading hate and keep like making everything a competition between the two. Also, I know that it's just a show, but Glee literally made like Katy Perry and Lady Gaga episode, like, who are you more? Are you more Gaga? Are you more Katy? Which I understand that it's Glee and like everything that was like hot back then was on there, but like, I don't know, it was just weird that like they made like a whole thing where it's like, are you more Gaga or are you more Katy? Which is like feeding into like Katy Perry versus Lady Gaga, like who's better? Who are you? Which side are you on? It's like you couldn't even be like on both sides, basically. And where in 2015 in the Met Gala, Katy Perry and Lady Gaga and Madonna both posed for the iconic pose that basically broke the internet, which I was still freaking out about because I was like, holy fuck, they're all together in the same picture. They even looked like they were actually having a conversation in one of the many pictures that was like the behind the scenes of it. So I think that Gaga was like kind of like seeing like, okay, Katy's actually not that bad of a person. Like, she's pretty chill. Like, she doesn't hate me. She's not out to get me. She's not here to ruin my career, ruin my life. Like, she's pretty fucking chill. Like, whatever. But remember, she probably still has a lot of anger and a lot of guilt inside where she may have been like, okay, fuck, I basically was being rude to Katy Perry. So now on to 2016, the text message situation. So regarding Katy and Gaga's situation with Kesha's rape case, I'm going to read the text messages. They'll be on the screen so you can follow along. So I'm really upset with Katy Perry. Did she do something? Sorry, I meant her. She could bring the whole thing to a head. Did she? But she won't. Alright, yeah. That is tough. She was raped by the same man. It's sick. She's probably really afraid to lose everything. You are really strong standing up to him. She's not as strong as you yet. Have you talked to her? You're right. I need to find sympathy and empathy for her. She's so mean. It's hard. Do you want me to see if I can talk to her? I know, she's mean. Are you friendly with her? No. Oh my god, no. She makes me angry about shit. Bye. I just try to have empathy for her. I mean, I know why she's not coming forward. You're right and very insightful. I mean, she's probably hasn't even accepted it yet. Maybe it's not my battle. So how I feel about that is, even though Katy and Gaga had taken a photo last Met Gala, I feel like Gaga was still influenced by her emotions regarding Katy. We also have to remember that Gaga was raped as well, not by the same man as Kesha, but I feel like since Kesha was saying it with her full chest that Katy was raped, yet Katy said she wasn't. And Katy definitely wouldn't lie about that, and she definitely could not say that she was if she wasn't. I feel like Gaga was acting childish in those texts, but I also understand how she reacted. Do I approve of how Gaga acted? No, I really don't. But Gaga has never come out and said who raped her, and I feel like she took the situation personally. The fact that Kesha thought Katy was raped by the same man was kind of hard for Gaga to see what the truth about the situation with Katy was. I think Gaga couldn't trust Katy and thought that she wasn't being truthful and said she's not friendly with her. I feel like she didn't sit down and have a real conversation with Katy and have a moment where they saw each other like they did in 2008, where if you go back and see them in 2008, they seem like friends. Like, they seem like okay with each other. They seem like kumbaya, basically. Met Gala 2016. So this was in May, so this was after the text messages between Kesha and Gaga. So you can see that they are partying together, and I think this was a way for Gaga to see how Katy actually was and put aside everything she had thought Katy was and was here to start a friendship. So I'm going to poke the video here and a bunch of pictures of two of them the night of the Met Gala. And they seem like they're definitely getting closer, and that Gaga's definitely trusting her and kind of seeing maybe I shouldn't just take what other people are saying about this woman, and maybe I should just see for myself, make the assumption myself. Next, we have the 2016 election in November. This picture is one of my favorite pictures of the two of them, and I think it is for a lot of people who stan them. Both Katy and Gaga were very impacted by the election, and both Katy and Gaga had family members who voted for Trump, even though Katy and Gaga supported Hillary. I think this was a very big turning point for their friendship. You can see the emotion in the picture. You can see how they are holding on to each other and holding on to hope. If they weren't a little close or getting closer, then why would they be like this at this event? And this was around November of 2016. So I definitely think that they definitely were discussing a lot of things. The fact that they both supported Hillary, I think, was a big thing, because I think they both kind of wanted to have a lot of people on their side that agreed with them and was on the same page as them. And I mean, this wouldn't be the first time that Katy and Gaga are sharing something in common. They both are queer women. They both are bisexual women. So they definitely do have something in common. 2017, Gaga sent Katy flowers while on Witness the Tour. So they were definitely friends and getting closer. You can actually see that it reads, "Dear Catherine, have a wonderful show. May the audience witness all your greatness. XOXO Joanne." And Katy Perry puts, "Love you, Lady Gaga. Thanks for the friendship and encouragement. Can't wait to see you back on the stage." So they definitely were closer this time, and were definitely probably texting and having a friendship. I don't think that they were hanging out. I mean, their schedules tend to not really go well. They tend to clash a lot. So I don't really think that they've ever like hung out. But then again, I don't know them personally, so I don't know. October of 2018, Katy went to see A Star Is Born. You can see from her Instagram. Then after A Star Is Born, when Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper released it and Katy Perry went to go see it, the text messages were published, as I talked about earlier. Everyone was attacking both sides, and Katy Cats were calling Gaga fake, and these tweets came out. So Lady Gaga tweeted, "At Katy Perry and I have grown up in the industry together. We've gone through both celebrations and differences with each other. These are old texts. We've matured, gotten over the past, love each other, and share deep respect. Katy is my friend and is truly a kind soul." End of story. I truly believe what she's saying. I think that Lady Gaga and Katy Perry turned a new leaf, and I think that Lady Gaga and Katy Perry settled their differences, and I think that Lady Gaga got over the jealousy and hatred, because I think that she understood that they definitely are better as friends, and that what she had heard about Katy Perry is not true, and that she definitely is a person that she definitely wants to have in her circle. So then Katy Perry replied with, "Love you too, friend, onward and upward." Which, by the way, as a stan of both of them, I was freaking out because those are my two bitches right there. I love them. So I love the fact that I got to see this, and that this kind of made a little bit of peace between fan bases, but there still isn't peace between them. But in December of 2018, Gaga's Enigma residency in Vegas started, and Katy in Orlando, which is her current fiance, soon-to-be husband, and her baby daddy of her soon-to-be child, will be born. And Katy in Orlando went to the opening night of Enigma, and you can see them sitting there, and that's Katy in front of one of the signs. No, there wasn't any pictures of the two of them taken that night, but there is this picture, and if you do see it circling around and people claiming that it is real, I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's not real. And how do I know this? Because I made it. I made the picture. There was another picture made of this where it was somebody else behind Katy, and it wasn't the best Photoshop job, so I fixed it so that it would look real. So if you see this picture circling around, I made it. It's my picture. I take full credit. It's not real. 2019 to 2020, nothing really happened in 2019. Between them in 2020, they're releasing music at the same time, which they haven't done since 2013. Gaga already released her album Chromatica. Y'all can listen to it on all streaming sites. It's an amazing album. They definitely put a lot of work into this. I definitely took my heart and soul into this fucking album when I listened to it. Katy Perry has her first single out, Daisies. Y'all can listen to it, give it love. Katy Perry's also releasing her 5th studio album that doesn't have a name yet, but will get a name eventually, on August 14th. Katy Perry's also pregnant and will be giving birth anytime right now. I and many others are excited about this, so spread some love Katy Perry's way. During an interview on May 29th, Katy said that she'll be listening to Lady Gaga's new album, so I believe that they have settled their differences and have gotten past the past, like Gaga had said.
I'm looking forward as well in my life, I'm excited, I'm going to listen to Gaga's record when it comes out tonight, maybe. I'm excited for new music.
They are definitely much better off being together than pit against each other. They both have gone through depression, have anxiety. They both have been sexualized for their entire career. They both were greatly impacted by the 2016 election. We got Joanna and Witness because of it, and both of the albums were very personal to both Katy and Gaga. So I truly believe that if you are a Katy cat or a little monster, whether you like Katy or not, or you like Gaga or not, Stop fueling the fire and pitting them against each other. Just be respectful to both artists. They both have proved that they are both talented and that the position that they are in, they are there because they both are talented women. No one copied anyone. If you don't like a certain artist, just leave it be. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. If you see a fan from the other side talking bad about your fave, just tell them to spread kindness and not keep pitting them against each other like it's not 2013 anymore. They are both incredibly talented artists who share a love for music and art, so please don't make the fire bigger by pitting them against each other and talking bad about the other. Just leave it alone and go stream your fave's music. It's that simple. In all honesty, I've seen too many people discredit Katy Perry and Lady Gaga. Honestly, they are both incredibly amazing women who are both bold, over the top, and just honestly amazing women, and I idolize them for the sole reason of the fact that they're both talented, spontaneous women who definitely have something to say, and they've proved they're worthy enough in this music industry and in this industry itself. So if you don't like Katy Perry and you're a little monster, listen, don't fuel the fire, don't give in to the pitting against each other. Just leave it be, stream Gaga's album and just leave it be. Don't fuel the fire. Katy Perry's in the position that she's in, and Gaga definitely would not want people talking bad, and the same thing goes for Katy Cats who say bad about Lady Gaga. Katy Perry is a huge fan of Lady Gaga and loves her music and definitely would not want the two of them to be pit against each other as well. So, yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share this video. Fuck, let's get people to see this and see that they definitely are friends and that there shouldn't be any more drama and pitting against each other. And fuck, in 2021, I think that we should just leave them being seen as competition to each other in the past. That they should just come out of this year being good friends and having the best fans that encourage them regardless. So if you like this video, please leave a like. And if I missed anything in this video about anything that you think that I should maybe cover in a video later, or if there's any topics about in Katy Perry's career and anything that's gone on with Katy Perry that I should cover on this channel, anything with Lady Gaga that I should cover in this channel, please don't be afraid to leave me a comment. Follow me on all my social medias. I make Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, and queer gay content. You know, please stay safe. This is a pandemic. We're in quarantine. And you know what? If you're bored, stream Lady Gaga Chromatica. Katy Perry's releasing an album. Stream those. Have fun. But I really hope you guys like this video. As I said, don't be afraid to comment if I missed anything about the two of them. So, thank you all for watching, and see y'all next time.
Thanks, everybody.